Okay, so we are back after a little bit of a break. We have had a kind of, I would say, a boring-ish season. Adventure Season 4 has been not the most exciting by any stretch of the imagination. But with that being said, we're almost up to Season 5. So the first thing I should say is that if you have almost finished your quest lines or your rewards that you're trying to aim for, whichever level you're trying to get to with ventures, you better get on with it because you've got about, well, as I'm recording right now, you've got just over 2 days, 2 days, 3 hours. So at that point there, the game will switch over to Season 5 Adventures, which is Scurvy Shoals. Now, I was thinking about this a little bit because when I started playing Fortnite Save the World, a series of quests were going on using Scurvy Shoals, and I was trying to think in my head, was the Venture season way back then, was that actually Scurvy Shoals? So I actually did a little bit of reading back. So this is just from one of the many Fortnite Wikipedia pages, and you can see that the first 4 seasons of Ventures have been, well, going backwards, you've got Mile Meadows, the one we've just about to finish, Flannel Falls, which was the over Christmas type one. We had Hexylvania, the kind of Halloween type one, and then we had Blaster Badlands, which was set in some areas of Canny Valley around Thunder Route, what is it, 67 or something like that. I forget which route it is now. But anyway, at the same time as this though, and this is where I got the confusion from, we have event quests. And this is something that happens in Fortnite Save the World a little bit, and something I hadn't realized, and it's actually down here, Yarr's Return. Expand that a bit, ignoring all the adverts, of course. Yarr's Return was this kind of seasonal event almost. It was going on at the same time, or was finishing up at the same time as the first Venture season was coming to a head. And this is what they appear to be using as the basis for the next Venture season. So they're using this as its own venture on its own rather than an event quest as it did last time. Which is kind of interesting. It's interesting maps because they use sort of tropical islands, palm trees, and all that kind of thing. Pirate ships. It's a little bit different to some of the other mission settings. So, with that being said, if we have a look at the modifiers and such, what they're thinking of doing to change this season. Firstly, it's going on for about the standard length of time, which is just over 2 months. That's roughly what they do for most Venture seasons, or have done so far. Up to now. They're changing husks slightly, so they're now making basically modified types of husks, super husks they call them, which will hopefully make the game slightly more interesting in the way you're doing your missions. But you've got, as you can see there, we've got melee ones, which are going to be inflicting slow on commanders for 5 seconds by up to 30%. They are introducing stunning as well. So it seems like if you eliminate these big ones, they're going to stun everything around them for a few seconds. So that should be quite useful. You can probably link these together. It says that you can chain the stun, so you can probably go around killing just the big husks. Or I don't know how they're going to be marked out. There's no pictures in the article here. I don't know if they're going to be physically bigger or whether they're going to glow like a boss, or whatever it is that they're going to do to differentiate between those and normal husks. But whatever it is they do, apparently you can target them specifically and stun series of enemies in a row. They've got super range ones, so they're going to throw additional projectiles. They're going to fire twice as fast, and at the same time they're going to have less health. So it's actually it's a nice balance. That they're going to do more damage, but they're going to be more like a glass cannon. So that's quite interesting. And then they've got the super tough husks. So these are usually the kind of annoying ones as it is. Even without bonuses, they're resistant to traps now and range weapons, which means you have to get melee damage. And they do more damage to structures, but they do move a lot slower. So we can get closer and stab them up a lot more, or smash them. So trying to make it different modifiers. Again, actually just flicking back to the Wikipedia page, actually, you can see here that they had different modifiers for each of the seasons. For example, Season 3, they had that wonderful mechanic where different classes of hero had different bonuses. Escalation, where the number of enemies you killed causes different types of explosive effects around you. So It says here, I guess the bonus is that you get chests of items dropping from the big enemies. So it's kind of, I guess, an offset of that. At the same time, so recently we've had Season 4 adventures, and at the same time we had the war games, so that is to say the base protect type mode. This time we're going to really have a re-release of adventures, which I personally enjoy a lot. Adventures is quite a fun thing to do. I like the fact that they're short-timed, they're very specific, and they take a little bit of skill and knack to be able to grind out gold really quickly. So, unfortunately, there's some heroes that you could have got if you played Ventures back in October. So if you were playing around Halloween, there's some of the same heroes you can get. So Swamp Knight, for example, is one you can get, and you could have got last time. Monster Ken as well is another one you could have got last time. So they're back. Dungeons is back to go alongside the Ventures, but I'm not too swayed by the heroes. I mean, you could get them already. If you haven't got them, put them in your book. It's cool. You know, they're around until June 19th. So basically you can do these extra quests all the way until then. So what it'll be something like, you need to complete 1 standard, 1 inferno, 1 grotto, 1 labyrinth, and then you're going to have to kill like 150 mini bosses and all that kind of thing to unlock these quests, to unlock the heroes. They're not overly useful heroes, honestly, but it's good to collect them. So what else have we got here? Well, we have the Blockbuster Quest line. So at the same time as Dungeons, we also have this quest line here to unlock this rather cool looking hero. So this is Carbide. He is a superhero of sorts, a mythic ninja, a mythic soldier, and then you can also get a mythic ninja apparently later on in the same quest line called Cloaked Star. So Carbide, I don't think he's a particularly exciting hero. This bit's a little bit more interesting. So the team perk Underdog is quite nice. Basically, you can heal more for every enemy that is around you. So that's kind of cool. But the actual perks themselves are kind of, it's a little fun with space pistols. So with lasers, you can, fire laser beams everywhere. It's kind of cool. But I don't think that on its own is particularly exciting. As for Cloaked Star, I find that the team perk is not that useful compared to other team perks. You can. It's a cute one. It's nice to get it to come back to you again. Yay, that's kind of fun. But at the same time, it's not that exciting. Likewise, throwing stars together in an arc. It's kind of. These are things that are kind of cutesy that will be interesting and fun, but not actually ultimately very useful, unfortunately. But either way, they're both cool looking heroes. I do like the design of both heroes, especially Carbide. So, well worth collecting, if only for the look of them. And then, this is the thing at the start of Ventures. They plan all the things you can do all at the same time early on, and then they don't seem to release anything after the start of Ventures, which is unfortunate. But planned it in the Yarr quest line, and that's what I was just saying from the event quest here. You can see Yarr's return, so it's probably this exact quest line here, almost certainly, to get the pirate. Well, I was going to say it's Yarr, but it's not actually. It's Blakebeard, the Black-Hearted. But it would be much more fun or much more interesting if he's called Yarr after all of that. But he is. Okay, again, it's okay. It's not terrible. I mean, cannonball damage, it's okay. Converts Rosie to 5 cannonballs, that's kind of fun. But again, it's I would not use that as a command perk because there are so many more useful ones than that as my main lead perk. The team perk, Blakebeard Stash, is kind of cool. Coconuts are fun, but I would rather use, I forget his name. The, Outlander who generates coconuts from searching things. I'll have to look him up later on. It'll come to me annoyingly. But again, his quest line runs until June 19th, end of Ventures, so that's great. And then just some Easter related ones. We've got Bunny Penny. Sounds funny every time I say it. So basically her abilities are terrible, really. Plasma Pulse costs less. I mean, that's kind of nothing. But okay. She's going to be available for gold though, no doubt, judging by that. The model's kind of fun. Not sure about the tattoo on the arm, but otherwise it's kind of fun. Rapid Rated Jonesy, kind of the same. It's kind of a nice enough thing. Critical damage for sniper rifle. I mean, that's kind of cool if you're pretty into sniper rifles. But it's quite a limited specific perks. Maybe you could use him as a sub character for your team, but not as the main character to your team. Again, he'll be the Avenged also gold, released a week later. And then we've got, I believe she's the Outlander, but I might be wrong there. The Cottontail Eagle Eye. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's an Outlander. Yeah, she's in fact, I can tell from the next line. Because she leaves egg bombs behind when she does phase shift. Again, it's something that's kind of fun. Not as a lead, but kind of fun as the side. One of the team characters rather than the main character. I would say one thing that I find kind of weird, and maybe you don't notice this, is that this character, nice background like that. This character, nice background like that. This character, inside a frame, inside the background. Not really sure why that character couldn't be edited the same way as all these other characters. You can see all the others have got this. Even the Husk has got that, right? You know, but every other character has got even Scurvy Shoals Venture Season has got its own screen with a thing on, but she is a frame inside. So I don't know what that's about. That's a bit weird to me, but anyway. And one last quick thing is they're just saying that the Machinist or Machinist Mina pack runs out soon, and they'll be switching out to a new pack. So of course, if you want cheap V-Bucks, it's quite easy way to get cheap V-Bucks, because it's usually was that $12, something like that. It is to get the pack, plus the character, plus the hero, plus the black bling, plus the hero, plus the back bling, plus the V-Bucks, plus the X-ray tokens, and the trap reskin. So it's actually kind of, if you want those bits, it's kind of a cheap way to get V-Bucks, and it's a cheap way to get an extra character and some stuff, but it's not, you know, overly exciting on its own, perhaps, if you're looking to play and save the world. Anyway, that is what Epic have released just the other day about the next season Adventures. It looks like it's going to be interesting, hopefully more interesting than last season. As I said, this previous season has not been the most exciting one, but leave any comments down below, and I will hopefully try and get back to you guys quicker than 3 weeks or whatever it is, and try and get back to some kind of weekly schedule.